my sweet friends, and good morning. Good morning. A good morning. It is indeed. Happy first day of September. I love the fall. But guys, I gotta tell you, this is a really special day, and this is nothing I probably will ever tell you again. Well, first of all, let me welcome you in. My name is Shary. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Be sure and leave your name down in the comments. Did I start a video? Leave your name in the comment section below so I can welcome you personally. And if you're returning, as always, welcome back. Yeah, today is a very special day. My brother-in-law, my husband's brother, I'm just going to make this brief, and then we're going to get to the project at hand. But he has been type 1 diabetic. I think he was diagnosed with juvenile type 1 diabetes, and he's now 50 some odd. Anyway, diabetes over the years has really taken its toll on him, and he's been on dialysis for the last, maybe year or so, because the pancreas, which can't produce the insulin, has destroyed his kidneys. Well, they did all the workup and everything, and he's been on the transplant list. Well, they got a call, maybe, I don't know if it's quite been a month ago, that they had a match. And the surgery is in Salt Lake City. They live in Carson City, Nevada. And they were making arrangements to fly, and then they got the call, never mind, something isn't quite right. So yesterday we found out, last night, excuse me, my throat is a little froggy in the morning, and I've already drank my coffee, and now I have my water. But yeah, they got a call last night. They were already in bed, about, maybe 8:30ish, that they had a match, and they couldn't get a flight. So they had to drive, from Carson City to Salt Lake City, Utah, about an 8-hour drive. But they had a match, and everything looks good. So they had to be there by 6 this morning, and they made it, he and his wife, they made it safely and on time. And it looks like everything's a go. Everything's a match. He's going to get the pancreas and the kidneys. Apparently it was a young, healthy donor, which is, very sad that somebody has to lose their life to save another, but the donor program is fantastic. In fact, my husband and I are going to get the donor tattoos soon. But yeah, so their oldest son, our oldest nephew, is keeping everybody updated via text and such. And my husband's mom lives here locally, so we're gonna go up and spend the day with her in a little bit. And then my husband will take her up to their house in Carson City, because she'll house sit and cat sit for them, because I think they'll be there at least 6 weeks. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that his name is Sam, and if you want to pray for him, this is a good time to do it. Multi-organ transplant. But my gosh, can you imagine? He's been diabetic for as long as I've ever known him. Can you imagine getting a transplant and waking up and you're not diabetic anymore, and you don't need dialysis every night anymore? So it's a miracle for sure. So prayers for the family that lost a young, healthy family member, and prayers to our recipient that is going to get a good, healthy pancreas and kidneys. So anyway, we are here today to work on our flip-flop journal inspired by Leslie over at 507 Willow House Journals. This is part of the hashtag 507 Girlfriends Flip-Flop Journal. I'm not going to say challenge, but if you want to go on Instagram to hashtag 507 Girlfriends Flip-Flop Journal, you'll see I've already put 2 on there, but you'll see all of the ones that people have made. I'm sure if you search it in YouTube, you'll see other people that have made these. I've got 2 videos on my channel, 2 or 3. I'll try to link them as to my other 2 flip-flop journals that I've made. This one is different though, because we did make it with envelopes, but we made it with decorating it with my Gelli print plate. And that's what I want to show you today. I have a couple pieces to finish up that are just backgrounds that need just a little bit more spark to them. And then these will get decorated as well. So they're not the finished product, but they are pages that are going to go into the journal along with coffee dyed paper and such. So if this is new to you and you've never seen this, it might be kind of fun. It's a really neat process. You put acrylic paint on here, you use a brayer, and then you pull up the paint with paper, all kinds of different papers, and you get all kinds of different results. I'll show you just a couple that I've done that are pretty much, I think, done at least at this far until I decorate them otherwise. This one's kind of neat. Just playing around with kind of a lot of fall colors right now. It's been mostly my palette for this project. I really like the way that one came out. There's some stencils. I'll show you a little stenciling. Some leaves that I have. This one's on rice paper, so that's pretty cool. I love the colors and the texture, and it's funny, the more layers and more layers of color that you pull, the more dimension you get. So it's a really neat art form. I'm new to it, so this is by no means a tutorial. Let's just put that out there right now. This is not a tutorial. And this was just, what do you call it? Deli paper. I actually saved this. We were out of town for one of my doctor appointments last week, and we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I saved this paper, like we do, right? So anyway, I want to tell you guys something funny about this journal. I showed you, but I showed it kind of upside down. I made a video yesterday. It was a long video. I did a bunch of this, and then I don't know, my computer was acting funny, and so I deleted the whole video. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, look at this. I'm calling this journal Scared Lady with Necklace. Oops. Scared Lady with Necklace, because if you hear some gunshots in the background, it's the opening of dove season, and we have a field just right over there, so you might hear some gunshots. But yeah, Scared Lady with Necklace, because to me it looks like there's her face, her eyeball, her eyelashes, a necklace, looks like a big thing of pearls, maybe a little fancy hat, but it almost looks like she's screaming. So, and don't judge my nails. I got to redo them. I was going to redo them today. I'm not sure if that'll get done or not, but I will get them done. Anywho, that is Scared Lady with Necklace is what we're calling her. So I wanted to just jump right in and finish up some of these pages. Oh, and I wanted to show you too, this came yesterday, and I'm waiting on an 8x10 square Gelli print, but it's stuck in customs. It came from China, so it's stuck in customs in Sacramento. So I'm not sure when it'll get here, but that'll be nice because that'll give me just a little bigger surface, and I'm looking forward to that. But I want to show you, I got this idea from watching PM Artist Studio, and I'll link their channel as well below. They've been a great inspiration to me for learning how to do this Gelli printing. But if you put your Gelli print thing, pad, whatever you want to call it, on this acrylic, you can kind of see your pattern underneath. So isn't that neat? That's a real, so I got 2 of these off Amazon. I'm gonna link everything here. My Gelli print, it was this one, Gelli Print Plate, that's what it's called. This one came with the 3. We have a 3.5 by 6 3/4, a 5.5 by 11, that would be this one, and then the mini circle one. I haven't used that one yet, but I'll link this. I'll link these acrylic things. I'll link my paints. This Caliart, I got those off of Amazon. I got my Brayers off of Amazon. I got my Tim Holtz tonic glass craft mat. So everything that I use here today that I got off Amazon, I will try to link if I can. But I will link the PM Artist Studios for you for sure, because they're a great inspiration to me. So let's just get right in and do a little bit of decorating. So we need to pick up some more color here. This one's kind of bland. I think let's come in with some using a lot of orange, a lot of yellow. You don't need a whole lot. That is just plain, oh, that's a vermilion. This is just medium yellow. Some colors are a little bit more transparent, some are a little bit more opaque. It just depends on the color. I am going to add in a little bit of white because I always like a little pop of white in there, here and there. And as you can see, this is really just playing for the most part. A little, just a skosh of red. And every print is different. Every single print is different. So let's just brayer this out and we'll see what we get. As I said, I'm staying in a very warm palette at the moment. And I've got to grab a roll-off paper. Hold on. Let me grab a piece of, that's not thick enough. Let me grab this little guy here. So I'm just going to roll off. This is a little envelope that I was going to use for something else, and I'm just rolling off my brayer to clean it onto the roll-off paper. So let's put an interesting pattern into that. You can get these from the Gelli Print people too, but I got this at the hardware store. It's just a square notch thing. It's kind of with all the paint stuff. So let's take a look, and now you can kind of see, because this all transfers backwards. So if I were to put letters or numbers, I would need to put them down backwards so that when it lifts, it'll come out forward. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to get when we pull it up. So let's do that, and then let's take a little bit of crinkle paper and just make some little imprints here and see what we come up with. Go ahead and go right in the middle here, and you just want to press down firmly with your hands and your fingers, not just your fingertips, because you kind of want a full press. You can even roll over it with your brayer if you want, and then that also transfers a little bit of color to your opposite side. Let's see what we get for our first pull. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. And now let's repeat that on this side. And I know I'm not gonna get my mat dirty. I might, but I've got my window cleaner at the ready. But it's gonna be on that acrylic block. I keep forgetting I have that underneath, so that's gonna be cool. Okay, I like that. Got a little bit of white here, but you know, if you have a little bit of white, it's okay. It doesn't matter. The white does not matter a bit. So that was a fun pull. And then I'm gonna set that right here, grab a baby wipe and just wipe up my acrylic block here. I'm just the nature of my business that I was in for many years. If you don't know me and you're new to my channel, I still am a licensed cosmetologist, but I did hair for many decades. And so having a clean workstation has just always kind of been important to me. So I'm going to leave this to dry because I want to do a little bit more on the back. So we're just finishing up some of the prints that I felt like needed a little bit more, the papers that needed just a little bit more jazzing up, and we're going to be working on our flip-flop journal together. Let's bring in a little bit of green. I'm going to go where my mother-in-law lives is in town. We're a little bit more out, I'm going to say in the country. And so in town is a little art store, and I want some metallic paint. And this kit that I got off of Amazon of colors did not contain anything metallic. So I want some gold. So I'm going to walk up to the paint store, the hardware, not the hardware store either, the art store, and see if I can find some. I did get this at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. I got this, and they had orange acrylic. They have another kind of paint there, but I'm not sure if it will work on these. It's not acrylic. It had a different name. I might buy one just to try it, but I don't know that I will. I mean, I will. I think I probably will, because I won't know if it's going to work. And they have quite a selection of colors in that other paint. I'm just not sure if it's one that is conducive to gelli printing or not. And I thought we could put a fun stencil on this one. Maybe we're going to get, you know what we're going to get is part of this one and that one, and that's quite all right. I like stuff to come off the edge anyway, which is perfectly fine. And let's roll that over this particular part. We'll get a couple of pulls. So what you get with a stencil is you're going to have negative and positive, because where the paint is coming through the stencil onto your paper is a positive image, but you've got negative space where the stencil is, where the paper is not making contact because of the stencil. And then when you pull your paper, you have what's called a ghost print. And that is your, another layer of printing on there that you can utilize, which is pretty fun. So look at that. That's really cool. And then now we pull our stencil, set it, what can I set? Set right here on that. Okay. Now we can come in with this and just sort of plop this on here, and we'll pick up some of that negative image, and we'll get probably a little bit more. And when I roll, as you see, I'm kind of rolling off the edge of my plate, and that gives me a little color on my brayer. And these are all backgrounds, guys. They're backgrounds for papers for the journal. So they'll be decorated as well. And we're still gonna have something to work with. Look at how funny that some of that white stayed on there. And when your paint begins to dry, it won't lift. You have to reactivate it with more wet paint. Oh, there we go. We got a little bit of color on that white spot. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we're gonna set that to dry. We'll have to come back to the back of that one's still wet, that one's still wet. When they dry, we'll come back to the other sides of them. These I wanted to do a little bit more on, so let's look at, get a stencil. Just looking around to see what I could, oh, I know. I have a good idea. Okay, let's see, what color do we want to add? This is a kind of a muddy color. It's needs to be brightened up. So let's bring in, I gotta grab it from over here, a little bit of black, tiny bit of black. Black goes a long way. I want to make sure you're still in frame. Yep, looks good, I think. We're just gonna do a dab of black. This is a very colorful journal, so we're not really too concerned about a particular color scheme, except for the fact that I'm keeping it more in the warmer tones, variation of warm tones. And we'll do another one on another day. We'll do like an all cool tone. Now we do want to remember on the color wheel, we don't want this to get muddy like this, and being as how we have purple, and orange is the opposite of purple on the color wheel, which is a great complementary color for each other. But if you mix them together, you get brown. So we could do orange in a small amount. No, wait, I take that back. I'm sorry. Yellow is the opposite of purple on the color wheel. It's blue and orange, yellow and purple. So purple added and mixed with yellow would make it muddy. So we're gonna stay away from that. Let's bring in a little bit of this magenta. And I still have a lot of colors over there that I haven't even begun to play with. For some reason, this green just said, pick me, pick me. Monostral green, okay? Haven't heard of monostral. Ooh, that's a lot of green. And just a Scotia white, because I don't know. I always just like a little white in there. And I'm using this one because it's less expensive and white goes very quickly. You use a lot of white. Ooh, those almost look more Halloween-y, don't they? With that black in there. That's a little bit darker than what I wanted, but oops, I just rolled over my little dude here. That's very Halloween-y. That's not the color palette that is in here at all. So let's see. Let's bubble wrap it for one thing. Plain old bubble wrap, guys. Save your bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. And let's do, this is a different one. I don't know that we're going to end up liking this, but the nice thing is once it dries, we can come back in and let's go this way with it. We can we can come back in with white or something to change this a little bit. So, and I think we can get, let's get a little bit of this corner. This one is rice paper here. See what we pick up there on that corner. That kind of isn't the best. I don't know, but like I said, you know, you never know. But then you decorate that up and it could be beautiful. So don't discount it. You know, there's probably a lot of pieces that people have thrown into the trash that might have been very lovely. Okay, that's very, dark, but not bad. I mean, not a bad thing. It went a little better with this one. And set that to dry, and let's come in with some white, some good white. Just a little bit of the good white. I gotta clean my cap. It's got some paint boogers on it. We're gonna brighten this up just a skosh. On this side, pull up some, ooh, let's do this. That's a pretty color. Beridan. Come on, Beridan. And maybe a little bit more of the green, but no black. Yeah, no black on this one. Black, a little bit of black goes a long way, friends. Pretty. I like that. Let's do a, I want to show you what I meant prior to about a reverse image. Grab a stamp over here. I mean a stencil. So let's use this Tim Holtz stencil. So if I put it down like this, it's going to come out backwards. So we need to put it here, and let's just do the whole thing. This, because these make great tags or journal cards or whatever. So we're going to go right over here with this. And again, we're going to get that negative and positive image, right? And then we'll maybe give this a little interest as well. You can see a little bit of that stencil from the back. So when we see it, oh, you won't see it. See that? See what I mean? We put it on backwards, but it comes out that way. I'm gonna pull my stencil up, set it right there, and go back over this side and see if I can't get it to be just a little bit better color, since I wasn't too awfully impressed with the other one. It's the nice thing about it, it's easy to change. Oh yeah, that's better. Much better. And when a lot of people clean their plates, and some people don't, because the dried paint that you leave on here is just a nice, oh yeah, that's much better. See how we took one we didn't like and now we like it. Okay. This guy is still drying, but he needs, let's reactivate this just with a little bit of white and see what we get. Because we've got a little bit of color under here. Again, this white, the dollar store crafters square, is a very transparent white. It's not a very opaque white at all. And then we got to work on this side. I think that came out cool. I like that one. And that is all, I think, aside from the backs of our other one. So this video won't be real long because I need to get my papers together to go in with. Oh yeah, that turned out really pretty. I like that. Maybe see if we can get a added pull on this side. This rice paper really is a lot of fun to do this with. Okay, added a little bit more color there, which is fine. Set this to dry. Put this stencil back down there. And then this one should be dry enough that we did that side. That side's not too bad. It'd be nice to have a little focal point though. you know what I wanted to do? So I don't think that side's bad at all. Maybe I can call that one done. I think I can. Let me get, well, this is Grogu. I wanted you guys to meet Grogu. A friend of mine, she has on Etsy, she is Lovely's Crafting Lodge, and she makes a lot of junk journals and ephemera and stuff like that, and she made Grogu for me. She made these. I don't think she sells them in her Etsy shop, but he crafts with me, so I just gotta set him right here. I had a craft party last week with a bunch of friends. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm knocking my glue over. Grabbing my water. Yeah, we had a craft play day there was 8 of us all together. And I introduced them to junk journals. We made a junk journal. I made each one of them a junk journal. And look at this cool one I printed with leaves. Oh, I gotta do the back of that too. But what I wanted to show you, we were talking about complementary colors earlier. Let me just get some white on here. I sort of want this a little bit cleaned up because, and if you put white on, it'll do a nice pull and clean your plate. I'm gonna need to get more good white. Might buy another white today too at the art store. A white and I really like a metallic gold. Don't think I need to worry about a black just yet, because as you can see, black goes a long way. Very long way. I'm just rolling on my rolling off paper here. Oops. But what my intention here was just to pull as much color up off of there as I can, because I want to show you something on the front of this. So we will have to let it dry a minute, but I was wanting to show you something. So let's hope we get a real good pull with this. Yeah, so pretty good. Pretty good, not too bad. Not the best in the world. I mean, it cleaned it just fine. It really did. It's just fine. Mainly wanted to pull up some of that green so that when I show you what I want to do on this page, then we'll have a cleaner palette. So see how that white just sort of picks up some of that residual color on there. If you would like to get rid of it, which I wanted to, and I want to show you what I want to do on the front. But I gotta let that dry a minute. So maybe, well, I don't want to add another color, so I'll just let this dry a few minutes and then I'll be back. All right, guys, I think this one is dry enough now. While I was waiting, I went ahead and just pulled out a few of my coffee dyed pages that'll be interspersed in the journal. Coffee dyed and turmeric dyed paper. I need to make more coffee dyed, avocado dyed, and cabbage dyed paper here coming up as well, but this is just some of what I had, so I just got those pulled out so I can get those ready. But what I wanted to show you, we were talking about complementary colors, and if you take the complementary color to blue, which is orange, green and orange, blue and yellow, and you do, like if you mixed the two, you would get mud because they neutralize each other. But you can use them to bring each other out. If you think about like, how pretty yellow flowers and purple flowers look together. They complement one another, so they make each other really pop, which is a really neat thing. So what I wanted to do on this page, and then I grabbed out just a couple of book page we can whip out real quick, and then I do have the backs of 2. Let me see how long we've been going. Yeah, I don't want to do, I think I'll just do this and then I'll do the rest of the backs off camera, because I think you get the gist of what we're doing. And then our next video, we'll start putting the journal together. So there's not too much color here on the plate. I'm not too worried about picking up. We could pick up a little green, but if we do, I think it's going to be okay. What I wanted to show you was just with how pretty when you use your complementary colors together, just how nice it makes it pop. And we're going to do utilize a really pretty stencil on here to do that. Let's see, we've already got this one. I wonder if I should repeat that up here. No, I want to do a stencil, but I don't know which one. That one's too big. Let me grab this one off the floor again. See if we can find a flower to add to this. Yes, we can. Or do we want a leaf? Let's do this flower. Let's do these two. Let's do this. So it's going to be kind of big, but it's also with a stencil, so you're not going to see as much of it, if that makes sense, because it's going to be, then we can go over it with the negative space as well. I did roll this off, but I could kind of come in here with the yellow just to add a little bit of yellow to the back, which is kind of nice. Whoops, I shifted my paper. So we're trying to pick up just what's in the stencil first, just to show you how pretty the colors will go together. Okay, see how that makes it pop, because they're complementary. So now we've got that was the pot, that this is the negative image, and we can pop the whole paper on here and just give it a swoosh. But that just kind of shows you, you know, you mix the two. I'm going to print out a nice color wheel, because we're going to be doing a lot of color wheel work, complementary, tertiary, colors, things like that. So playing with color has always been my baby and my love. Made some good money doing color and correcting other people's color mistakes through the years, but don't do that anymore. So now I play with color in other ways. Any way I can. Okay, so anyway, that was what I wanted to demonstrate on how pretty, because this page was just so primarily blue, I could demonstrate that purpose, and it doesn't get muddy, whereas if you were to mix these two on the plate, you're going to get mud. So anyway, let's just do a couple of book pages. We'll let that dry, and I think that one will be done, so that's going in the done pile. And let's see, this one, I think that one needs a little something, something, something on the back too. But I'm just going to set that right here, because I can work on that another day. And these still have to be done, so they can go over here to the still to be done pile. And I thought just doing a couple book page would be fun, because they're small, they're easy, and we like to put book page in our journals, right? So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? We could do some stamping. I haven't really done much stamping yet. Let's do some leaves. I really like the way the leaves turned out. So let's do some green. And we've got the yellow on there, so that'll pull a little bit, which will be fine with the green. This is going to be primarily green and white. Oh, and a little bit of orange. No, we don't want to do orange because we'll make it muddy. Remember? Across from each other on the color wheel. Well, I tell you, you go through a lot of white. Yes, you do. We could put in let's put a little bit of red, just a skosh. We don't want too much, but just a little. Whoa, that's probably too much. Let's take some of that off and put it over here for another project. I mean, another book page. So let's just sort of see what we get here. Ooh, that's Christmassy. Very Christmassy. But that's okay. We're gonna roll with it. It is very Christmassy, as a matter of fact. Very good. This might end up being saved for a Christmas page, now that I see it. And I don't really have anything out here that's Christmassy. Let's bring in some texture with the bubble wrap again. And I have some big bubble wrap somewhere. I just, you know, the really big bubble wrap, but I can't find it. I know I saved it, unless my husband didn't realize I was saving it and went in and threw it away, which sometimes happens because I save a lot of things that most sane people don't save. But we're just adding in some texture. This is just crumpled paper that was on top of my acrylic block. And we're gonna just do this. See what we get. Yeah, this could very well be put into a Christmas journal pile. See, just because you make it doesn't mean it has to go in this journal. Because we got lots of Christmas making stuff to come up here soon, so let's keep that in mind. Ooh, very Christmassy, yes. And let's see if we can pick up what's left here for this page. This side, I mean. So, yep. Ooh, that's really Christmassy, but I like that. That's going to be good in a Christmas journal. Yes. So remember that we did the red. What did we do? Red, white, and the green. Red, white, and green. We did the sap green, the crimson, and some white are good Christmas colors. So now let's put on some, oh, I was going to do leaves, wasn't I? We'll do that now. See, I get to talking and thinking, and then I go another direction on you. So a little bit of that, little bit of paint stuck on my finger. Scotia white, and a little bit of orange. I think that'll make a good fallish combination. And I tell you what, I've always been one to write things down, but in this process, you can't. I can't. If I wrote down every combination of color that I did, I'd probably drive myself bonkers. Okay, so we've got kind of just a nice fallish combination there. And then let's put some, oh, and I have some turkeys too. Maybe we'll do that on one. My mother-in-law has a really pretty tree in the front of her house. It is liquid amber, and I notice it's dropping a lot of leaves. So I think I'm going to steal a few for our printing purposes. Real leaves, dried leaves. I've seen some people do that with various leaves, and that turns out really, really cool. So, pull this up. I want to get this sleeve here because I didn't really get him too good. Didn't get him at all because he was off of the page. And then maybe I'll have to grab another book page to pull up the negative space. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Oh, my phone must be barking. I have it on airplane mode and I can hear my dog howling. It's probably my alarm clock is barking because he needs his pills. My puppy dog Maxie has seizures, and so hopefully my husband was able to shut it off on my Apple Watch. Because since I have it in airplane mode, and I put it on airplane mode just because I know with my brother-in-law's transplant and all my girlfriends know what's going on, and so my phone has just been blowing up with messages and texts and stuff all morning. So and then I have an idea. So okay, so that's really pretty. We've got some leaves there. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab one more book page because I have another idea. Let those dry, and then I'll let you go, and we'll pick back up on this journal at another time. But these are cute. Yeah, we're going to do these guys. So I have a Cricut machine, and I made these die cuts, these turkeys, several years ago. And so I'm thinking, you know what? I need to get my turkeys. I mean, get my Cricut machine fired up and get some of my papers out and stuff and do some die cuts for our gel printing. It's not going to matter. I'm going to kind of stay in the same color theme, but I just thought it'd be fun to show you a little bit of the turkeys. What a turkey! I haven't done the turkeys yet, so we're just gonna do those, and it'll be a combination of all these colors. Whoop, that's a lot of green, but that's okay. We shall roll with it. Again, very fall-ish palette, which is lovely, in my opinion. Now we're gonna put them backwards, remember? We have to put them backwards if we want them to come out front ways. So we're going to put 3 turkey dudes. Hopefully this will come out. It's an experiment. Let's see. I almost feel like I'd rather do that on a bigger piece of paper so it's a bigger... Oh, you know what? Let's do it on a rice paper. Hold on. I think that's my label paper. I want to do it on a rice paper. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. To be getting my rice paper out. I had to go to the other side of my craft desk to get my rice paper. Okay, let's just go right here. Smack dab in the middle. Really press in to get that turkey image. I don't know that this one will go in this journal, but we'll start a fall, because I'm going to do a couple fall journals. I'm working on one, and I'll probably do another before I start Christmas. And I think I still have a fall. I'll link my Etsy too. I have a fall journal. One, oh, did I put my flip-flop, Italian flip-flop journal in my Etsy shop? I don't think I did. So I have the boho one sold. I have a fall, and I have a, oh gosh, I can't remember. But I'll link my Etsy shop so you can see the, did I have 2? Yeah, I did have 2 rice papers.
No go on the surgery.
Why?
I guess they went to harvest the organs and there was a problem.
Oh, no.
That's all we know.
Okay. Well.
So they had it prepped and everything, and something
wasn't right.
Something wasn't right, yeah.
Dang, that is some touchy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't talked to them. I guess Morgan called my mom.
Okay.
And we got a little girl coming over.
Who?
Somebody didn't want to go to OG's. They wanted to go to Papa Gers and blow bubbles.
Okay. All right.
So as long as we can take her to town, because I think we're heading into town for lunch and going to see Mom.
Yeah.
So she'll love it.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, friends, you heard it right there. No go on the surgery. No go on the transplant. Crazy how fast things can change, isn't it? Okay, so we've got our turkey images. Now we're going to pull these off, and we're going to, of course, let them dry. And we've got our negative space, and we're going to go back over it like this and pick that up as best we can. And this will be a lovely page in a fall journal. Oh man, geez, that's crazy. Prep for surgery and something didn't look right. Man, I tell you what stuff that goes into that surgery is crazy. These guys are still wet, so let's just stick them on there. Do that on here. No, I grabbed two. Remember, I had two. Where did I put it on? Here. We're just going to do this. Since it's here and the paint is still wet, we'll get something. All right, well, no transplant this time. Amazing how they can tell that, huh? Well, we know he's at the top of the list anyway, so one of these days it'll happen. Gosh, they worked all day yesterday, then drove 8 hours just for that. It's crazy. Okay. Pull that negative image up, and I'm going to let you guys go because I'm going to clean up here and get showered and dressed. Sounds like we got little Miss Aspen coming over. She wants to come to Papa and Gers. She's our youngest granddaughter. She just turned 3, and she is a hoot. Let me tell you what. She is a funny girl. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with this mess. I got to do something with this, and I will see you on my next video. We will work on getting this flip-flop journal put together. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take good care. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Have a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day weekend, which is upon us almost. And just stay safe if you're traveling. Be safe out there, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.